Welcome back, students. We will continue further. So we have understood that how the settlements, as with the passage of time, went on changing, and how the urban areas now change into the metropolitan cities. What are the factors which will lead to the changing or the transforming of urban areas uh, into the metropolitan cities? Okay. Now let us continue further on page number 64. See at the end, now these are the pictures given you. You can see in the pictures, in the first picture, a type of settlement 10.3 figure. You can see some settlements are nearby the roadside, and you can also see some settlements are there at the, you can see A, the marked picture A. The settlements houses are nearby the coast, that is seashore. And then C settlement, you can see just one house is there on the top side, on the mountain side, hillside, and along the roadside there are some settlements. So you have to answer the question, you have to observe the figure and discuss the following questions. So that will be a homework for you. Even you have to observe figure 10.4 and answer the following questions. Okay, so let us start. After that, at the end, you can see, after considering various settlements, we realize that people settle down in different geographical conditions and adapt themselves to the conditions in the region. So after you will read this figure, you will understand that people are settling wherever they find the geographical conditions are favorable to them. They start settling there and also start adopting themselves to the conditions prevailing in that area, in that region. Okay, patterns of human settlements evolve. I am on page number 65. Okay, patterns of human settlements evolve in accordance with the natural conditions. In this lesson, we are going to study the major patterns of human settlements and the reasons behind them. So there are different patterns of human settlements, and those patterns have evolved due to the natural conditions available there. So let us see what are the different human settlements and the reasons behind them. Okay, using the resources from the surroundings, man constructed houses and started living in them. Yes or no? In the initial start of the lesson only, we studied that whatever natural resources were available to man, using those resources, he constructed the houses and started living there. In the modern era of science and technology, people have made a remarkable progress in the construction of shelter. So what advances, what techniques, or what in the modern times, what development we have done in the settlement of shelter, let us see. They have even built skyscrapers. So where we had started with the natural resources available, huts and whatever things were available, man was settling according to that. And now, according to the modern types, we have made a remarkable progress in the construction, in the shelter. And what is that? That today even we have skyscrapers, we have buildings which are touching the sky. Yes or no? So that is the remarkable progress in the field of construction of shelter. Man is thinking of constructing colonies on other planets and their satellites too in future. Not only we have reached the sky, but man is again one step further, thinking of constructing colonies, constructing a row of houses on the other planets, not only on the earth but beyond earth. We are trying, man is thinking of constructing the colonies on the other planets and on the other satellites too. In the near future, surely man will success in that. Settlements have provided man with stability. Yes or no? Today we are stable. Why? Because we are settled in our houses. We have something shelter on top of us. That roof is nothing but that roof is our house, due to which man has become stable. We have settled. What do you mean by settled? Are we wandering? Today I feel, no yaar, this house is not good, or okay, I will move from this town to that town, this place to that place. Are we migrating now? No. We have settled now in our houses. So man has become stable. rural settlement is the first step towards a stable life in human history. Yes, before rural settlements, man was wandering, man was migrating from one place to another. Yes, whatever resources were available in any area, he used to settle there. Again, natural resources, he used to wander from one place, in that area, whatever was available, he used to stay there. But after the rural settlements, man started, that was the first step towards the stable life of the man. Okay. Urban settlements have evolved through the expansion and growth of rural settlements. We have already read this in the first video. Yes, sir, I have explained you that how rural expansion then turned into urban settlements. A certain way of life is preserved in rural settlements. So, a different type of life is there in the rural settlements, which was preserved, which was taken care of. Increase in the population of rural settlements is the beginning of urbanization. So, we have studied all these things now in the first video, that how the rural settlements, the population in the rural areas went on increasing, some developments happened, some facilities were available, and this way the rural settlements turned into urbanization. So, that was the beginning of the urbanization. Then life in urban areas, settlements is more dynamic, is more dynamic means what? It's very super, it's very changing. What the facilities were not available in rural settlements, were they now available in the urban settlements. There are large scale economic correlations between rural and urban settlements. So now there was a relation maintained between the rural and the urban settlements. Means both started depending on each other. The day-to-day food requirement of the urban population is fulfilled by rural settlements. I told you, one relation maintained between them, they started depending on each other. So urban settlements used to depend on rural settlements for what? For the day-to-day food grain requirement. Okay, because in the rural areas, agriculture is the most important occupation carried out there. So that food requirement was settled by which? By rural settlements. Then modernization, science and technology led to transformation in both types of settlements. Then as and when the modernization happened in our country, the new scientifically discoveries happened, new techniques came. Due to this, all the things changed, and these changes happened, this transformation happened not only in urban areas but also in the rural areas. So both the settlements led to transformation due to our modernization and in scientifically and technically improvements. Okay. So this was the way of the pattern of the settlements. Then let us see the type of settlements and the characteristics of their distribution can be described as follows. So what are the actual type of settlements? Now let us see. First, scattered settlements. In scattered settlements, houses are few and far from each other. So the number of houses in such type of settlements are less, very few, and they are at very far from each other. The distance between each houses is very much. Okay, they are far from each other. That's why they are called as scattered. Scattered means what? Spreaded, far from each other and very few. Generally, such settlements are found in the areas of high relief, dense forest, grasslands, hot deserts and extensive agricultural lands. So where you will find very less settlement, few people, few population is there. So if few population means houses will be also few. Yes or no? These type of houses are found in these type of areas, where such areas where the areas are of high relief, means always the climate over there is very high. Okay, then the forest is very dense. It is not good for the people to stay over there. Dense forest means it is an invitation to wild animals. Yes or no? And the facilities or remaining facilities are less over there. So these areas, the grasslands, long tall grassy areas are there. Then the hot deserts, desert areas also, the conditions are not good for the people to stay over there, right? The climate over there is very dry. And then extensive agricultural lands, where the agricultural lands are very extensive. Okay, in such areas you will find the population is less, and that's why the people staying over there, the shelter houses are also less, and that's why they are called as scattered settlements. Okay, so in short, what are the characteristics of scattered settlements? Distance between scattered settlements can be clearly seen. They are so much scattered, houses are so much far away that you can see the distance very clearly between them. These settlements have limited populations, as in small hamlets. I told you the settlements itself indicate that the population will be less, okay, and that's why they are called as in small hamlets. And what are these hamlets called? These are called pada, wadi, etc. Okay, so we say, whenever we say wadi areas are very small with few settlements, few population. Facilities and services in these settlements are not adequate, not so much adequate, okay, not so proper. They are to an extent very less. As these settlements are closer to nature, they are free from pollution. Yes, surely, as because they are very much, we saw these scattered settlements are mainly found in where? In grassy or hot deserts or dense forests. So they are very much nearby to the nature. So that's why the pollution will be very less. Fresh air will be circulating in these areas. So these areas are free from pollution, and as they are very closer to nature. They depend on the centrally located villages for their day-to-day requirement. Then how their daily needs will be satisfied? Will all the resources available in their area? No. So they have to depend on the nearby villages. So whatever requirements are there, for that purpose they are going to the nearby villages. Okay. So that was about the scattered settlements. I'll continue further in the next video. Thank you.